Oh, there you go. Now you can hear me. Is that right? Yes. My apologies for that. Somehow I also just had a little bit of a glitch and it totally bumped me off. You guys can hear me okay though now? Great, great. So sorry. Anyway, I was in the middle of passing the stone over to anybody who would like to, and then I just got booted for a second. So who would like to share some gratitude to start with? Carrie, would you like to go ahead and go first?
Sure, sure. Um, Wonderfully, I'm super grateful in this moment for you to have just shifted the focus in this moment to gratitude. Uh, this has been a perfect timing for me to take this class in so many ways, and I'm always super grateful for and amazed at the synchronicity of life and how exactly whatever challenges or opportunities are there in that moment for me, the perfect circumstances show up in the tools. And so this has been a really fantastic support. I wish it wasn't ending this class. I'd like
Yeah.
for this to just keep going for a long time.
Of course. Yes, right. Just keep prolonging it. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm super grateful for very basic things in my life. I'm super grateful to live in a beautiful place where I wake up every day, almost every day, and the sun is shining. I'm very grateful for my friends and my family and the beauty that surrounds me every day, the natural world, the fact that everything
Mm,
happens without me having to really do anything. Um,
yes. Right. It's just already there, right? It's
yeah,
already abundantly prevalent everywhere.
yeah, yeah. And I'm very grateful for the privileged life that I have, that I'm able to make choices, that I have the basics that I need in life. Um,
Yeah.
I'm really grateful for the opportunities in my life to love and to be loved.
Mm, yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's a powerful one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I could go on and on and on
Yeah,
and
no,
on
that's
and
so
on.
beautiful. Thank you for sharing
Yeah.
all those. Those are some gems, some things that they're there and that we're not always aware of, right? And this is really
Yeah.
this whole course is about awareness. And it's like the more that we become aware, we start realizing, right? We count those blessings and we realize, wow, like we have a lot, way
Yeah.
more than we tend to focus on.
Yes, absolutely. And I've been one other thing is that I've been very grateful in my life to have stumbled into yoga and meditation. It's been absolutely the best tool and resource for me, um, for the art of life and for moving through life, and it's free.
Yeah,
And I kind of
yeah,
can't get over that.
yeah.
It's really
They say that, the best things in life are free, it's
yeah,
it's really
yeah,
true in a lot of ways that sometimes what really gives us the most gratitude and the most contentment aren't the really mega expensive things, the things that we're paying lots of money for. It's
yeah,
just our ability to appreciate those things.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you for sharing, Carrie, and really opening up and yeah, it is such a powerful practice, is that sometimes also, like I was saying earlier, it just takes a moment to really allow ourselves. It's kind of like our higher self, our divine self is looking down upon us. I used to say this a lot too. It's like our angels that are looking down upon us and are really showing us something amazing and beautiful. And how, so much of the time it's just, it's a little turn of perspective where we're like almost horse blinders. We're so fixated on something that bothers us or we don't like or whatever it is. But all it is just kind of
Exactly.
taking a wider or a bigger perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you, Carrie.
Thank you.
Yeah. just take in that gratitude, what Carrie's sharing with us, and honor that. So I would love to be able to pass that now stone over to anybody else that would like to practice this gratitude process. Yeah, and Marie.
Okay, so I can go. Of course, yeah, there would be so much to say, and this gratitude practice has really done a lot for me. I've been doing it for a few years and really changed something. So today I feel certainly a lot of the videos and the insights from the course. I feel grateful for, like, especially deliberately making space. I've actually changed my planning page around that to include something just for like myself and pleasure time, and shift the priorities, like you say, from towards more pleasure, enjoyment, being time versus doing time. So this has been working since the beginning of the year. I'm not completely finished, so actually I missed the fact we should listen to the gratitude video. I didn't realize. So anyway, but I'll do it later and want to see how you suggest, to practice it. But I've been keeping a daily practice. So right now, yeah, me too, live in Florida. I don't know where Carrie is, but we're in Florida and very grateful for a mild winter and the beauty around and the trees every morning and the beach 15 minutes away and the ocean. My family is in Paris and it's a different story. However, I am very grateful that I was able to go visit them last year two times versus 2020 where I couldn't go. So very, very grateful for that for 2021. Yeah, I guess those are the main, the top three.
That's beautiful.
I don't know if you're gonna share anything. I mean, I am right now. I've been doing trying to do list of 10 because I find that after 5 or 6, there's really a shift in me that happens. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh wow, so much, life is so beautiful. But
Yeah,
I don't know what you would. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very powerful, Anne-Marie. I think what you're sharing is that, and just like what you're sharing is that you maybe haven't watched that video yet on gratitude.
Yeah.
Please do. I mean, that it actually, part of what we talk about are a lot of the different sort of
okay. Yeah.
things you can do. Part of the practice, like a morning gratitude process, an evening one. I know for Yuli and I, a big one also is just the at a mealtime, where you can really take a moment to feel grateful. It's actually something I also wanted to share. We have this book that we use a lot, is A Grateful Heart, and it's a lot of prayers and blessings from like all sorts of people. I mean, everything from Buddha to the Beatles, as they call it. There's some, kind of pop culture people, as well as just some very, very classic, ancient sort of poets like Rumi or Kabir that they would reference from. And it's like such a simple process that we do before we eat, is to kind of say a prayer or a blessing at the table. And it's these little things. And I think that's the thing about it, is that it doesn't always have to be a huge like puja or ceremony or something that we do, even though that can also be very transformative and powerful. But I think, Anne-Marie, what you're bringing up is such a great point, though, is that sometimes it's like we have to get the wheels turning. We maybe need to start and really have 4 or 5 different things that we are feeling grateful for. And that by that 4th or 5th thing that we start realizing, like, wow, like I really do have a lot in my life. There's actually so many things, like you were saying, to even go visit your family in Paris. When we start, because the difference really, just like all processes in, I think, yoga, just like yoga nidra, it actually helps us to get out of our head and it gets down into our heart. And that's how you can feel the difference. When we're mentally just like a checklist, and we're just like, yeah, I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for that. Right. It's like, that's just in our head. That's just mental. And we can just recite it. much like we're at a spelling bee and we're just spelling out a word. The difference being exactly like what you said, after you do it and you really start to take that inventory, and maybe it takes 4 or 5 of different things you feel grateful for, there's like a shift. And then
Yeah.
that shift really comes to your heart space, and then it just makes all the difference because you're actually feeling the gratitude rather than just thinking about it.
Yeah, thank you. And the last thing I want to say, the richness, and even though I'm not completely finished, but it's okay, I'd rather take my time and still have 90 days. But just the wealth of the various videos and the beauty is very inspiring just watching. I mean, you've made it in such an attractive way, and it's short enough that, we can fit it in. So that I'm grateful for the quality of that, of what you've offered in those, both the videos, and then just, I feel I have a complete renewal of all my yoga nidras, which I already had quite a few, but it's good, really good to have a renewal and not always do the same thing. So now it's really a big variety, and I'm grateful for that too.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Thank
No,
you.
thank you, Anne Marie. I really appreciate that as well, as far as feeling grateful that you also can appreciate the quality and the work that kind of went into making all the different videos. So thank you for that. So it's funny. I feel like this, gratitude begets gratitude. It
Feels
really
up,
continues to ripple. It definitely has a huge ripple effect, is that the more we feel gratitude, and you bring up a really good point that I think is so valuable. Yulia and I both experience this, is that, sometimes we might even be feeling gratitude, but we don't express it. And, I've had this process lately, even with my family. When you make the trouble to call somebody and express gratitude, it's this powerful process, it changes everything, because it's the twofold. It's like, just like what you were doing, Anne Marie, and we were experiencing.
Mm.
It's that, like, you feel it, but then it ripples to somebody else. And because you actually spoke it aloud, you embodied the process, the other hears that gratitude and it affects them. And so that way, it becomes this really symbiotic relationship. It really ripples. So that's really powerful. Thank you, Anne Marie, for sharing everything that you did. And I appreciate that. And I definitely feel like that is that, it's this ongoing process. And every little thing that we put in here, all these micro habits of ease are really focused on that. Is that sometimes what happens is that the block is that it's like, well, I'm out of balance, or I'm not doing so good because I haven't had time to sit down for a full formal yoga nidra practice, or I haven't done my yoga practice, or whatever it is, right? And we feel like we need that entire hour. And what we're saying is that it's like there are these micro things we can do that really can shift our energy in a very powerful way, and also in a very short amount of time. So that's beautiful. Lou or Greg, would you care to share, or no pressure either way too?
So for me, the first thing that came to mind was just little I don't know, less global, less sweeping, and more just narrowly focused. And that was just, I was grateful for the opportunity, and for taking the opportunity, the things that led me to know about and be drawn to the opportunity to start my morning in a quiet way, with some practices, and in a connected state, and just it was a nice calm morning here, fresh air, not brutally cold, thankfully. And so we were able to be outside for a while and just enjoy the nature and creation, and just being present in the moment. And I was just feeling grateful for that.
That's beautiful. Yeah, it's such a powerful thing you share also, that they're really subtleties You know, sometimes it's the simplest things. You know, I heard it, you know, there's a really powerful quote. It's a real spiritual quote about it's almost like the tip of our nose. You know, like a lot of these things are so close to us that we miss them because we're looking beyond ourselves. We're looking so far away from ourselves that we forget that it's like right here. It's right in front of us. It's right next to us. It's right in our own presence. So that's beautiful, Greg. I really appreciate that it can be in the simplest and easiest of things. Yeah. Lou, would you also care to share
Sure.
or? Yeah?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Well, what I'm really feeling gratitude for is that this class has gotten me back into my practice, my yoga nidra practice. And it's been a huge shift again, just in my whole outlook and just my daily walk in life. It's going to bring me to tears again. So I'm very grateful, Gabe, for you and Yulia in my life. And thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. It's so beautiful. I really feel like that, you know, tears, like tears of joy, tears of gratitude can be one of the most powerful spiritual practices is that, you know, that's the heart right there that speaks so much louder, you know, so much more powerful. You know, you know, they say that there's even scientific measurement now that shows that our heart actually transmits more energy, more bioelectric energy than our head does. Yeah, it's measurable. Yeah, that's so beautiful though. It's like, we feel the same way, Lou. It's just such a powerful practice. And it's so simple on one level. Is all we really do, if we think about it, is that we just close our eyes and relax and let go and allow ourselves to be guided, right? In the process of doing yoga nidra. But yet it's such a profound experience because so much of our life is, again, it's out here, you know, it's engaged in, okay, what am I doing? You know, a lot of times like, who am I? You know, okay, who am I to the world? Like what, and it's like, there's so many things that again, take us away from ourselves. And this is really a practice of bringing ourselves back to ourselves, you know, that very deep inner experience that is timeless. It really is. It's like this one doesn't go out of style, you know. This one doesn't go out of fashion. Is that this continues to appreciate. You know, and I love that saying. You know, Yulia included as I think a quote on one of the emails. But what you appreciate appreciates. You know, and it's true. It grows. It's like what you spend that time and that energy appreciating is going to appreciate, much like interest. You know, it grows like in a bank account. So thank you, Lou, for sharing from your heart very deeply. It's very beautiful. It's very touching. Well, I want to just take a minute this morning. It came up actually after Anne Marie. Like I said, this is a fantastic book, A Grateful Heart. Like this is literally on our dining room table, and Yuli and I both, we just tend to grab this before each meal, anytime that we sit down together. Not always, we're not always, you know, at the table together 3 meals a day. You know, it'd be great if we did, but you know, just like all of us, we have very busy lives and we're very involved and engaged. But when we do sit down for a meal together, this tends to be a great reference for us. And it's funny because for me, like in the coaching world, it really is central around this kind of notion of an antecedent. And I don't think I've talked about that in any of the videos, but it's another little gem that I can give you all today, is that really an antecedent is anything that kind of triggers our memory or our thinking about, oh, right, if you think about the easiest antecedent, like when people tie a string around their finger because they need to remember to do something, that's an antecedent. And they both can be positive and they can be negative. Like Yulia and I, we would joke because she used to work for a laboratory, a diabetes research laboratory, and they used to have a big giant bowl of peanut M&Ms right in the middle. And it was always shocking because it's like, wow, and it's a diabetes research lab, and there happens to be a really sugary bowl of goodness, and it's like, it was an antecedent, perhaps in a negative way. And it's all about your perspective. It could be good or bad either way, but it's really that it stimulates us to remember something or think about something, or even so much so that it triggers a physiologic response. And so that's why I would say, as far as something like this serves for us as an antecedent. It's like it stimulates us to remember gratitude, remember the practice of being grateful. And so I would encourage all of you, it can be anything. A lot of times it's a beautiful thing. Like, well, if for those of you that have like an altar, we have like a picture of our guru, or we have a picture of a beloved teacher. That is also, it's reminding us about our practice, reminding ourselves to come back to something. And it helps us that during our day, we might have lots of things that are notifications and, oh, we got to do this and that. Those are lots of stimulation and antecedents reminding us to do different things. But this is one that kind of, hey, reminds us, like, be grateful, take a pause, listen to that voice. And I've worked with a lot of clients around this thing, as far as how can you set this up in your environment. And that can look like having a book on your table, on your dining room table. And maybe it's having a photo in your car while you drive. These little things, they add up. They really do, because what isn't in our environment and what surrounds us, it really does also become us. It's like a level of, like, we're consuming it on one level or another. And so this is part of that kind of energetic vibrational level of what we're consuming. And so it can be a really simple thing of like a photo or something like that, but it can really help remind us to practice gratitude. And the other one that I wanted to, for any of you who are also somewhat in the scientific mind, like myself, I love to do a lot of research. I love that science is actually starting to bridge the gap. Science and spirituality, really, I think they're merging together. They're really finding a lot of the similar things, but this is the psychology of gratitude. It's about effective science, but it's by Robert Emmons, and it's a little academic. So I won't lie, if you're not so averse to, in that kind of realm, if you like to be able to learn a little bit about it, but it really does go in depth about also, what's going on with the brain, and why is gratitude such a powerful process? Why does it rewire us in powerful ways? Why does it affect us? So it really does talk into a lot of the science behind that. Why, what is going on? What is happening? So I think it's a really good read, but like I said, if it's too dry, if you don't tend to like the science books, then this maybe might not be for you. But
I love it. Thank you. I love it.
Yeah,
And
for sure. And
right away.
I'll be happy also to send it off at those particular references for you in an email, so you have it as a reference. But again, I just want to celebrate all of you for making it through this course, and that you're going to be finishing up, maybe some of the last videos, getting caught up if you haven't watched them so far. But this whole process, doing Yoga Nidra this much has literally been rewiring parts in the brain here. It really physiologically starts to happen where, neurons and neurochemicals are working in synergy to help us to feel more grounded and more like ourselves, and more grateful. And so, today, as we will, practice again Yoga Nidra, we just want to continue to plant that seed with you all, is as you move forward in your life, is to stay connected to that, stay grounded in that, in whatever form that looks like. Because I wanted to take a minute also just to open it up for everyone, just to also realize that one of which is, like, we are here for support. We open ourselves up, our schedule, to help work with individuals who are in need, who are, wanting to kind of go for more of a deeper experience, whether it's do, spiritual mentoring or, yoga and Ayurvedic counseling. We like to be able to work with clients one-on-one as kind of more of a support level, just to help and continue and encourage growth in areas of your life that you're wanting to have. So if that is of interest to any of you at all, please do feel free to reach out. And I'll put my email in the chat box, as well as Yulia also has a website that she's been working with clients for a long time as well. Feel free. We always do like just a free consultation, kind of a discovery call where we can just connect, and it's just really an ability to just take some time and really talk and connect with where you are in your situation and just see if it's also a good fit if you might want to work together on more of a private sort of one-on-one basis. But the other thing that I also wanted to plant a seed with, so that's one, but the second thing is, Kamini has also been a really big part in helping with this course. And, she also has been continuing in her growth. And so it's really valuable to be able to continue to, do the practice, but also if you're at all interested in learning and how to teach, you want to do, say, like a Yoga Nidra immersion or even a certification, she is also on that level of support that would be, love to be able to help you in that growth. And even if you don't have any desire to necessarily work with people or even teach classes or that sort of thing, just the sheer fact of going through a program, it can be very, very life-changing. And so I also will share the link. Kamini has been, continuing, and I'm sure many of you are aware of as well, but her IM education is what she's been continuing to grow in. And she has many different trainings that are coming up even in just this year, some of which are live online, but some of them are also in person. And I would really, I'm just a big fan of hers in general, but also I'm a big fan of continuing our growth. And I've found it from my own life and my own journey, how important it is to regularly engage in self-development, self-improvement. And whether that's looking like working with, a coach or a counselor individually one-on-one, or also taking more trainings and more programs, just like we're doing today. This is Sangha, this is community, is that it's really important for us to put ourselves regularly back into these circles to really encourage our growth and allow ourselves to grow and develop in different ways. And just like this, as far as signing up for a course, there's just many different ways that we can help and support ourselves. So I'll share that with you, that link about Kamini and IM education. And of course, the additional component, the third thing I would share is also with AYI and Amrit Yoga Institute. Some of you, that's how you found out about this particular course. And I would really love to be able to encourage you that there's also multiple courses and trainings that they're offering and continuing to be able to make available. So that would be something that I would also encourage you to consider, is just whatever it looks like for you in your life to just continue, right? That is such an important thing, is to continue the practice, continue the work on our own, but also to be able to continue it in our life, kind of looking ahead, right? And sometimes you might be thinking, well, maybe down the road a little ways, maybe in the summer, or in the fall, something like that, where you start to kind of put it on your long range sensors, if you will. I'll use the space sci-fi analogy, but anything like that you can do, it kind of helps. And I find it for myself, it gives you this sort of sense of like, oh, right, here's to my growth and development. Here's to what I'm looking at next, and here's how I see myself growing in the future. So anyway, I will share those with you. But now I want to just take just a minute, and I want to be able to also just really, really dive into, kind of, now that we're closing up and that this is kind of coming to the completion of the course here. we would love to also ask any of you if you would be willing and you'd be wanting to. We always love to get good feedback from people who've taken this course. And if you're interested at all to be able to do that, perhaps also just for, feedback, survey, or also even if you'd be possibly interested in just doing like a testimonial. And that can also just be kind of like this over Zoom, where you would just be kind of recording a testimonial and just talking just like you are to your camera, on your phone or your laptop. That would be super, super helpful. That would be amazing. And we would be super grateful for that. Every little bit really helps in kind of growing and spreading and helping to be able to get these sort of materials and these teachings out to more people. And it always helps to have real people, with real scenarios of what you've been living in your own life and how you've experienced the course and how you've really found it to be helpful. So your words particularly can also be very helpful. But even if it would be honestly just on a short survey, that would also be incredibly helpful. So we would really, really appreciate and honor that if you're interested. So with that, I would love to be able to go ahead and get us back into our body a little bit more, get us back into our heart center here before we shift into a yoga nidra. So I want you to go ahead and find yourself to, a comfortable position, and that can just be comfortable seated. You don't have to do anything standing, but I want go ahead for right now and just really ground yourself back into your body and feel yourself sits bones, pressing into the chair. And we're going to just start with some very easy and light, gentle stretching. So I want you to just go ahead and we're going to start first by just some gentle neck rolls. So really cueing the breath right now, deep breath, inhaling. And then exhaling, just let it all go right now. So really even cue with a nice sigh, like a fallout breath. So we'll do a couple like that. Deep breath, inhale through the nose. And just let out a nice big sigh. Just inhaling again. Exhale, just let it all go. And then now just shifting gently from here, inhaling as you roll the head and neck just slightly backwards. And then over to one side, and then exhaling as you roll the head and neck forward and down. And just be really gentle with the body. Just listen to where your body's limitations might be and not really trying to push past any sort of edge. Just starting to kind of tune in where you are. And cueing the breath. Exhaling as you roll forward. And then inhaling as you roll back. Gently and slowly, we'll just switch now to the opposite side. Just rolling in the opposite direction. And see if you can, as you're doing these head and neck rolls, just notice just the incremental shifts. Notice if a particular place feels maybe a little bit more holding than the other. And if so, maybe you slow down just a little bit right on that place. Maybe you just take a deep breath or two right there. And now from this place, we're just going to shift our head and neck over to one side. And we're just opening into the side of the neck here. So just nice and gentle. And if you feel you want to encourage that opening a little bit more, you can place your hand from the same side that your ear is moving down towards the shoulder. And you're just going to be very gentle. You're just going to kind of open, gently encouraging on that side of the neck. And you want to just give a nice gentle tug, but nothing too forceful. And really breathing right here. Breathe into that stretch and breathe into that opening. And then gently and slowly releasing, bringing the head back up to neutral. And then we'll shift over to the opposite side. So bringing the opposite ear down towards the shoulder, wherever your body's limitation is, that's just fine. And then you can bring that hand up on top of the head from the other side. And just again, just encouraging that opening into the opposite side of the neck here, really just using the breath as a tool. And then gently, slowly, you can bring the head and neck back up to neutral. We're going to now just do a nice gentle head rotation. So you can just, on its axis, you can just rotate the head and neck over to one side. And just coming to your edge, wherever that feels comfortable for yourself, taking a deep breath here. Exhaling, just letting it go. If you nice sigh if you need. Do another just deep breath. And just let it all go. And gently and slowly bringing the head and neck back to center. And we'll shift to the opposite side. Again, just rotating on its axis. So bringing that head and neck over towards the opposite shoulder. Rotating, and then deep breath in. And let it go. And again, inhale all the way. And let it all out. And bringing the head and neck back to center. Way to just gently engage in just some nice shoulder rolls too. So just cue the breath with the movement. So inhaling as you roll them up and back, exhaling, bringing them down. Just see if you can't, just gently unlocking the body, bringing ourselves down from the thinking center into the feeling body, into the temple, a body temple where these tensions might accrue in the body. If you feel also the need, if you want to even shrug and hold it up to the top for a moment as you take a breath. And then as you exhale, just let them just drop down. We'll do that one more time again. So inhale as you hold for a moment or two. And then exhale and just let it go. And then we're going to go ahead and slowly with your hands, just really open into the face. This is typically the places of holding of tension. And if you need to be able to remove your glasses like myself, you can set them down to the side. Just really open up here right into the temple. This tends to be a very hot spot. So you can just gently massage in there. And if you want to go for a little bit of deeper myofascial release, you can also even just press gently into the temples. And as you do this, just really breathe and open the body. And also to encourage this, as you press, you can open and close the jaw. And you'll notice as you open the mouth and the jaw, you'll feel these different muscle areas of the body really elongating. So we really want to just continue to breathe. Just allow yourself to kind of melt that tension that might be held on. And then gently and slowly, you can bring your hands down. And then now I want you to go ahead, and we're going to go ahead and prepare ourselves for Yoga Nidra now. So just take a few minutes, just trying to keep yourself more internally focused, not too much hustle and bustle, but you can just gently and slowly bring yourself down to a comfortable position, just lying on the ground. If you need to be able to rotate your computer or tilt the screens so you can, put me in a comfortable position, that's fine. Go ahead and just take a few minutes right here and just go ahead and set yourself up for success. So making yourself supremely comfortable, just taking a moment And just preparing yourself for Yoga Nidra. So whatever position is going to feel most comfortable for you. Perhaps if you have a bolster underneath your knees, perhaps you have a pillow underneath your head. Just whatever it is that you need to set yourself up, go ahead and allow yourself to just get comfortable right now. And now gently, whenever you find yourself down to that comfortable lying position, we're going to go ahead and do a few more of those fallout breaths. So just taking a nice deep inhale through the nose. And then you can just exhale with a nice big sigh and just let it all go. Just ah. And just taking your time. We're in no rush, no hurry at all. So just if you're still finding yourself down to a lying position, that's fine. But whenever you make it down to that lying, most comfortable position, just allow yourself to just breathe in and then just let go with a big sigh. Just just really letting go more and more. Deep breath, inhaling and letting out a nice big sigh. Just and just continuing to use the breath here as a tool to just drop you from the thinking center in the mind into the feeling center in the body. Again, just taking a nice deep breath, inhaling. And then exhale, just letting go completely. And just notice with each progressive exhalation, just feeling the body settling into the floor more and more. Again, we'll take one more deep breath, inhaling. And let out that nice big sigh. Just and now close your eyes and quiet your mind. Be still. And let go of all thoughts, worry, and tension. Simply give yourself to a higher power. Relax, trust, and let go. And once again, just breathe in fully. And exhale again, deep sigh. And let go even more. And again, one more breath. Inhaling. Exhale, let it go. And now begin to feel a deep sense of contentment and gratitude beginning to pulse in your heart. Now I want you to bring this intention into your awareness. you're just going to fill in the blank at the end of the intention. So one thing in my life that I feel grateful for is, and you just fill in that blank. One thing that I feel grateful for in my life is, one thing that I feel grateful for in my life is, and now just allow yourself to be able to drop even deeper into total relaxation. Just allow yourself to completely let go. And now I'll guide you in the next phase of Yoga Nidra, where we're going to enter into a deeper and subtler level of relaxation through using the bumblebee sounding breath. So in a moment, you're going to use your thumbs to close off the ears, but just enough so that you can still hear me. And the remaining of fingers on either side of your forehead. So in a moment, we'll take a deep breath in, and then we're going to, with closed lips, we're going to begin to hum the sound of the bumblebee breath. And allow yourself to change the pitch of the buzzing sound to really maximize the vibratory sensation. And that sensation as you feel it in the skull. So now, taking in a full breath and just following me. Deep breath in again. Now stop. Bring your arms by your side, relaxing the arms, and just be still. And bring your total undivided attention to the whole body. And just feel the stimulating impact of the vibrations extending throughout your whole body. Notice how your attention feeds your energy. Observe your energy field expand and grow, extending everywhere, feeling every nerve and cell in your body. Now bring your attention to the brow center. And just empty your mind into that flood of energy. And let it melt, merge into the experience of the energy body. Feel it expanding beyond all boundaries. And now drop into complete silence and stillness. And so now, as we enter this next phase of Yoga Nidra, just remain as motionless as possible. If you need to move or make an adjustment, just do so mindfully, and then return back to stillness as soon as you can. Resolve to remain awake, staying in touch with the sound of my voice at all times. Allow your entire body to respond to my words directly and non-mentally. Allow any disturbances, whether external or internal, to draw you more deeply within. In Yoga Nidra, we enter into the subconscious pranic field of energy. Just let your mind merge and melt into the energy body and go beyond the boundaries of body and mind. And now shift from thinking and doing to feeling and being. And do absolutely nothing from now on. Simply relax. Drop now into the deepest state of stillness. Just allow yourself to be in direct communion with the energy body. Just let go. And now direct your full attention to your breath. Create no struggle around breathing. Just use the breath to release any tensions. Slowly deepen your inhalations and your exhalations. Just let your breath flow in a steady, uniform, unbroken stream. And just continue until asked to stop. And let your attention be totally connected to your breath as it flows in and out. And now bring all of your attention to the expansion and contraction of your abdomen as you breathe deeply in and out. And with each exhalation, release all the tension held in your body. let go even more. Breathing out all of the holdings in the body. Just use the breath to progressively enter a deeper level of stillness. And now we'll continue with 10 more slow, deep breaths. Just counting them like this. 10, I am breathing in. 10, I am breathing out. 9, I am breathing in. 9, I am breathing out. And just continue until asked to stop. And as you're breathing, just be absorbed into the sound of your own breath. Let yourself be more relaxed with each breath. And now, just wherever you are in your counting, just allow your breath to return back to normal. Just feeling the energetic impact of the breath in the form of pulsations in the body. Your attention allows the energy field in the body to grow and expand. Just experience it. Energy follows attention. And let your mind just melt and merge into that river of energy that flows throughout your entire body. And now drop into that silent space where all doing stops. And let go. And let go even more. And now follow my guidance as we move through various parts of the body. Just let your attention rest on each body part as I name it, without any comments or judgment from the mind. all 10 toes. Both ankles. Both knees. Pelvis. Abdomen. Chest. Arms. Throat. Face. Back of the head. Shoulder blades. Spine. Buttocks. Calves. Heels. Soles of the feet. Now sense the whole body from the top of the head to the tips of the toes. The whole body. The whole body in awareness. Now sense the space around the right side of the body. Just sense the space as it touches the skin boundary on the right side of the body. And now sense the space around the left side of the body. Just sense the space as it touches the skin boundary on the left side of the body. And now sense the space as it touches the entire skin boundary. Just experience the entirety of the body simultaneously and equally. The entire body, more energy than density, pulsing, tingling. Whole body breathing in, whole body breathing out. And just sense the space around this body. Each and every breath moving in this space. Just the breath, just space. You are both the space and the experience contained in it. Just experience and become. And now surrender the entire weight of the body to gravity. Feel the whole body weighted, sinking down. With each breath in, sense a cushion of vital energy surrounding and permeating the body until the whole body is felt as a pulsing, tingling energy field. Energy surrounding every cell of the body equally. Life force growing with each breath in and each breath out. Now sensing the shift now into the mental body. Notice the emptiness of the body and the silence of the mind. The mental field held in absolute stillness and inner tranquility. The mind has given up its internal dialogue. Thoughts and images moving through without any comment or judgment. And now entering the subtler dimension of the wisdom body. Remain the neutral observer, receiving what is exactly as it is, unconditioned by the past. Feel yourself freed from limiting tendencies and the unconscious forces of the past. You're now free to create your experience of life. You are the creator of your experience of life. Moving from conditioned knowledge to the knowing of the self within. And now dissolving completely into the bliss body. Sense the light of the source illuminating the entire being. You have become one. You are an emanation of the whole being luminous, radiant, and shining the light of the illuminated consciousness. And now bring your attention back to the center between the eyebrows, dropping into the deepest level of relaxation. Here there remains nothing to do or nothing to achieve, just simply feeling grace. In this domain, you are witnessing to all that is happening but doing nothing to make it happen. All that can never be done by your doing can happen only in the non-doing presence of your being. Just allow yourself to feel safe and comfortable as you give yourself to that protection of the presence. Just feel it. Just be it. And now here your intention and your affirmations are actualized and fulfilled with effortless ease. Now bring this intention into your awareness. One thing in my life that I feel grateful for is. One thing in my life that I feel grateful for is. One thing in my life that I feel grateful for is. And allow this intention now to go to the deepest level of recognition with no hesitation at all. Know that the higher self recognizes and accepts this intention. Just having faith and trust that it has been heard and is being acted upon by a higher power of the source within you. There's no need for you to do anything. And just bring your attention back to the center between the eyebrows and just feel all of the energy in the body being purified and balanced. All channels are open and that life force energy is flowing freely. Just experience. And now at this time, feel the presence of any guides or mentors or teachers or any family members you feel connected to. You may sense this as a universal force of energy. Just allow it to surround you and to guide you. And just know that this presence always surrounds you wherever you go. You can draw upon this at any time. And now, begin to become aware of the rising and the falling of the breath. Just gently beginning to sense the body resting on the floor. Gradually and slowly, just taking your time, you can begin to move the body, bringing the body back online. Just gently and slowly stretching the body and just moving in whichever way feels good to you. Just gently and slowly, again, take your time, no rush. Begin to slowly and gently bring yourself back up to a seated position. But just taking your time, being gentle, keeping that inward focus. And just now, taking a moment, you can just bring your hands to a prayer position in front of the body and really just keeping the eyes closed for a moment. Just feel the pulsation of energy that is within you. Feel the energy that guides you. And then gently and slowly, you can gently open the eyes. The Namaste and Jai Bhagwan. Thank you all so much. And just now, gently just be gentle. Just you can bring yourself back into the room and bring yourself back. But just taking your time again, just moving slowly and gently. So thank you all for so much for attending for today's session. It was so nice to be able to see everybody and see your beautiful faces. And thank you also so much for sharing. So nice to see you. And thanks so much for sharing and being part of the experience and the Yoga Nidra. And thank you for just your presence. You know, I feel that gratitude right now, and I feel that also emanating from all of you. And I just want to take a moment and just be mindful also of the time. So for any of you that need to be able to go ahead and transition for the rest of your day or any appointments that you might have, you know, please feel free to go ahead and do that. But also, if any of you would like to just stay for a minute or two, if you have any questions or, you know, any comments, things you might want to share, I would love to be able to just open it back up if there's any final closing statements that you'd like to make. Or like I said, I'm happy to also answer any questions about the course or anything else that you would like me to talk about.
Feel pretty quiet right now, so really silent. It's a great script.
Beautiful. Yeah.
So I'm just gonna end in silence and just, you know, Jai Bhagwan. And thank you.
Yeah. Jai Bhagwan. Yeah, sometimes silence is golden. It is. It says everything. Well, like I said, I'm going to